Iwo Jima, February 1945. Corpsman James Sullivan crawled through machine gun fire to reach a wounded Marine, lost half his blood getting there. When he finally reached the Marine, he realized they were the same blood type, O negative, universal donor. The Marine was dying, needed blood immediately, no time to wait for supplies. James made a choice, connected their veins with a rubber tube, did a direct transfusion, his blood into the Marine's body, saved the Marine's life, nearly died himself, got the Navy Cross for it, lived another 60 years telling people the same thing. Your blood isn't yours. It's borrowed. Give it back when someone needs it. His grandson Marcus learned that lesson well. Marcus Sullivan was a paramedic in Atlanta, worked the night shift, the worst shift, the shootings, the stabbings, the overdoses, the car crashes, the chaos. He'd been doing it for 12 years, seen more death than most doctors see in a lifetime, but he kept showing up, kept saving lives, kept honoring his grandfather's legacy. One Saturday night in June 2008, the call came in. Multi-vehicle accident on I-85. Multiple casualties. All units respond. Marcus's ambulance arrived third. The scene was carnage. 5 cars, twisted metal, broken glass, blood everywhere, people screaming, chaos. Marcus grabbed his bag, ran to the worst vehicle, a minivan, crushed on the driver's side, a woman trapped inside, maybe 30 years old, bleeding from everywhere, unconscious, barely breathing. Marcus checked her vitals, pulse weak, blood pressure dropping. She was dying. He radioed for a helicopter, started an IV, tried to stabilize her, but she kept bleeding. Too much blood loss. Her pressure kept dropping. She needed blood. Now. The helicopter was 10 minutes out. She didn't have 10 minutes. Marcus looked at her hospital bracelet, checked her blood type. O negative. Same as his grandfather's. He made a decision, grabbed a blood transfusion kit from his bag, something he'd carried for 3 years, never used, against protocol, against regulations. But he'd trained for this, prepared for this. He rolled up his sleeve, connected the tube, his vein to her IV, direct transfusion, just like his grandfather on Iwo Jima. His blood flowed into her body, her pressure stabilized, color came back to her face, her pulse strengthened. The other paramedic stared at him. Sullivan, what are you doing? That's against protocol. Saving her life, Marcus said, his voice calm. That's my protocol. 8 minutes later, the helicopter landed. They loaded the woman. Marcus disconnected the transfusion, felt dizzy, weak. He'd given almost a pint, maybe more. The flight medic stared at the setup. You did a field transfusion? Yeah, Marcus said. She needed blood. I had blood. Simple math. That's insane, the flight medic said. Also brilliant. She wouldn't have made it without this. They flew her away. Marcus sat on the ground. Lightheaded. His partner brought him juice, made him drink. You could lose your job for that, his partner said. I know, Marcus said. Worth it? Marcus thought about his grandfather, about the Marine on Iwo Jima, about borrowed blood. Yeah, he said. Worth it. 2 weeks later, Marcus got called to his supervisor's office. He knew what this was. Disciplinary action, suspension, maybe termination. He'd broken protocol, done an unauthorized procedure, put himself at risk. He sat down across from his supervisor, ready for the consequences. Sullivan, his supervisor said, we need to talk about the I-85 accident. I know, Marcus said. I broke protocol. I understand if you need to. His supervisor held up a hand. Stop. Let me finish. The woman you saved, her name is Dr. Catherine Hayes, cardiac surgeon, one of the best in the state. She coded twice in the helicopter, needed emergency surgery, lost 3 more pints of blood, but she survived. His supervisor paused. The trauma surgeon said if you hadn't done that transfusion, she would have died at the scene. No question. She's alive because you broke the rules. Marcus didn't know what to say. Dr. Hayes wanted to meet you, his supervisor continued. Thank you personally. But there's a problem. What? She's in a coma. The head injury was severe. They don't know if she'll wake up, or if she does, how much brain function she'll have. It could be days, weeks, months, maybe never. Marcus felt his chest tighten. I'd like to visit her, he said. If that's okay. The supervisor nodded, gave him the hospital information. Marcus visited Catherine Hayes every week for 6 months, sat by her bed, talked to her, told her about his calls, his grandfather, his life. She never responded, never moved, just lay there, breathing, existing. After 6 months, the doctor said she'd probably never wake up. Permanent vegetative state. Her family would need to make decisions. Marcus stopped visiting, couldn't watch anymore, couldn't sit by another bed watching someone fade. He went back to work, kept saving lives, tried to forget about Dr. Catherine Hayes, tried not to think about the blood he'd given, the life he'd saved, the person who was gone anyway. 15 years passed. Marcus kept working, kept saving people, got promoted to supervisor, trained new paramedics, taught them his grandfather's lesson. Your blood isn't yours. It's borrowed. Give it back when someone needs it. In 2023, Marcus was 52 years old, still working, still showing up, still honoring the legacy. One afternoon in August, someone knocked on his door. Marcus opened it. A young man stood there, maybe 25, wearing a white coat, stethoscope around his neck. Doctor, can I help you? Marcus asked. Are you Marcus Sullivan? The young man asked, his voice shaking. Yeah, that's me. The young man started crying. My name is David Hayes, he said. 15 years ago, you saved my mother's life. You gave her your blood when she was dying in a car accident. Marcus's heart stopped. Catherine Hayes. Dr. Catherine Hayes, David said. Yes. How is she? Marcus asked, already knowing the answer. Still in a coma. Still gone. David shook his head. No. She woke up. What? 3 months after you stopped visiting, David said. She woke up, fully conscious, full brain function. The doctors called it a miracle. Marcus couldn't breathe. She's alive? She's more than alive, David said. She went back to work. She's still a cardiac surgeon. She's saved over 800 lives in the last 14 years. All because you saved her first. Marcus grabbed the doorframe. Needed support. Why didn't anyone tell me? We tried, David said, but you'd changed phone numbers. Moved. We couldn't find you. My mom's been looking for you for 15 years. Wanted to thank you. Wanted to tell you what your blood gave her. What did it give her? Marcus asked. Everything, David said. He pulled out photos. Catherine Hayes in scrubs, standing in an operating room, smiling, healthy, alive. This is her last month, David said. She just performed a heart transplant on a 6-year-old girl. Successful. The girl's gonna live a full life now. Because my mom was there. Because you were there first. Marcus stared at the photo. There's more, David said. He pulled out more photos. This is me. Medical school graduation. I'm a resident now. Emergency medicine. Following in my mom's footsteps. And yours. Marcus looked at the young doctor. You became a doctor because of this? Because of you, David said. I was 10 when my mom had the accident. I thought I lost her. Then you saved her. Then she came back. I watched her go back to work, watched her save lives, watched her turn her second chance into 800 more second chances. That's when I knew. I wanted to be like her, like you. I wanted to save lives. David handed Marcus an envelope. What's this? A letter. From my mom. Marcus opened it with shaking hands. The letter read, Dear Marcus, 15 years ago, you gave me your blood. I was dying. You were a stranger. You had no obligation, no requirement, but you did it anyway. You broke the rules, risked your career, gave part of yourself to save me. I woke up 3 months later. The doctors said I shouldn't be alive, shouldn't have brain function, shouldn't be able to walk or talk or work, but I could do all of it. Because of your blood, because of your choice, I've spent 15 years trying to find you, trying to thank you, trying to show you what your blood created. In 14 years, I've performed 847 surgeries, saved 847 lives. Every single one of them exists because you existed, because you stopped that night, because you gave your blood to a dying stranger. But it's more than that. My son became a doctor because of you. He saved 23 lives in his first year as a resident. My daughter became a nurse. She helps hundreds of patients every month. My husband started a foundation that funds emergency medical training. We've trained over 300 paramedics, all of them saving lives. All of it traces back to you, to your blood, to your choice. I can never repay you, but I can show you what you created, a legacy of life, a ripple that never stops. Thank you for breaking the rules. Thank you for giving your blood. Thank you for being the reason 847 people are alive. Thank you for everything. With eternal gratitude, Dr. Catherine Hayes. Marcus read the letter 5 times. Couldn't stop crying. David put his hand on Marcus's shoulder. She wants to meet you, David said. If you're willing? Yes, Marcus whispered. God, yes. 1 week later, Marcus stood in a hospital lobby, nervous, shaking. Catherine Hayes walked in, older now, but strong, healthy, alive. She saw Marcus, ran to him, hugged him like he was family. You saved my life, she said, her voice breaking. You gave me 15 more years. I gave you blood, Marcus said. You gave me everything, Catherine said. Come with me. I want to show you something. She led him through the hospital to the cardiac wing, opened a door, inside a waiting room, filled with people, men, women, children, families. Who are they? Marcus asked. People I've saved, Catherine said. People who are alive because you're alive, because you gave your blood to save me. One by one, they approached Marcus, shook his hand, thanked him, a man in his 40s. You saved my life 5 years ago. Heart transplant. I have 3 kids now, a woman in her 30s. You saved my daughter. She's 8 now, healthy, happy, a teenager. You saved me when I was 6. Now I want to be a doctor like Dr. Hayes. Like you. Marcus broke down. Catherine held him. This is your legacy, she said. Not just 847 people, but their children, their families, their futures, all because you gave your blood 15 years ago. All because you chose life over protocol. Here's what Marcus learned. His grandfather was right. Your blood isn't yours. It's borrowed. And when you give it back, you create something bigger than yourself. Marcus gave 1 pint of blood. It saved 1 woman. That woman saved 847 people. Those people created thousands more lives, families, futures, dreams, all from 1 paramedic who broke the rules on a highway in 2008. Your choice to help, to give, to sacrifice. You have no idea what you're creating, what lives you're saving, what futures you're building. So give the blood, break the rules, risk the consequences. Some things are worth it. Here's my question for you. What blood are you holding? What can you give that someone desperately needs? Maybe it's literal blood. Maybe it's time, money, skills. Whatever it is, someone needs it. And when you give it, you create ripples you'll never see. Futures you'll never know. Lives you'll never meet. But they exist because you chose to give. If this story moved you, leave a comment about a time someone gave you what you desperately needed. Subscribe if you believe in paramedics and ordinary people who break rules to save lives. Share this story because someone watching needs to know their sacrifice matters. Their blood matters. Their choice creates legacies. We give our blood. That's what heroes do. Now go be someone's Marcus. Go break the rules to save a life.